Hello everyone, this is Squallcasting bringing you another game of StarCraft 2. Now, you might not recognize these names. We have IronManSC and Minotaurus. Minotaurus being the Protoss, Iron Man being the Zerg. And this replay came from the community. I posted on the StarCraft forums and said I would like your replays. And this fine gentleman here, IronManSC, sent me a game he played. He is in the Gold League, but you know what? Leagues don't matter that much when you're just trying to have fun. So I decided to cast this game. We'll see what happens. And yeah, I can just showcase the community a little bit. The goal is for everyone to have fun. Now, Minotaurus, the opponent of our hero, is scouting. IronManSC, on the other hand, just building drones, getting an overlord. All very standard stuff. Minotaurus looks like he wants to do the Forge Fast Expand build. Very standard. We will have to see how IronManSC responds. Now, I don't know what the metagame is like in the Gold Leagues, but it would make sense to me that some of the stuff from the upper leagues would trickle down, as a lot of people watch StarCraft content and contests. And I mean, that's evidenced by Minotaurus doing the Forge Fast Expand, so clearly people, even down at the lower leagues actually think about what they're doing. Minotaurus blocking the expand here. That's not something that's not something that a player would do if they just aren't really thinking, they're just kind of doing whatever. So, clearly putting some thought into their play. Not as high level as, say, Huck or MKP or those players. But still, let's see what happens. Should be a good time. So Iron Man has opted to get his pool first. Sending 2 drones down now, just to drive off that probe and be able to lay down his hatch. He has just enough minerals, and that probe isn't even actually in the way of the hatchery. Minotaurus, though, looks like he might want to do a bit of cannon rushing action. We'll see, though. He still hasn't built himself. There we go. Throwing down his forge now. And if that pylon finishes unfettered and he swings his probe back around, he could potentially throw a cannon down here, which would be very irritating. We'll see what happens, though. He has gone into a simulator very early. Bit of an odd choice. Definitely indicative of some tech play, but hasn't gotten probes into it quite yet. And going to be throwing down his Nexus any second now. He has the minerals for it. Killed off that drone. And any second now, a Nexus. Well, whenever he feels like doing it. Oh yeah, he's microing this probe, that's why. He does get a cannon down, gets another cannon down. There is a Ling working on that pylon. Another Ling working on that pylon, throwing down 2 more cannons. He really wants this to work. Another cannon. And you should probably look at laying down another pylon, otherwise, even if these... Oh, that one's a pylon. Okay. Well, that pylon's definitely going to go down. Moving his probe forward a little bit, trying to harass a little bit. Just doing everything he can to make this work. These Lings definitely are not a very good angle to get hits on these photon cannons, but there's quite a lot of Lings there, and they should be able to take that pylon down in time. We'll see, though. This cannon's up, starting to shoot, but the pylon goes down, and these cannons are going to die before they can do much of anything. So, well defended by Iron Man. Actually, the pylon is going to finish up, so going to take a little bit more damage, but there's enough Lings there that he should be able to clean this up, no problem whatsoever. Very well played by him. Minotaurus getting gateways, and just full walling that. He definitely doesn't want to die to a Ling counterattack, because Iron Man does have 7 Lings out. 7? Am I counting right? 8. Okay, that's 8 Lings. I'm apparently very bad at counting on the fly. Now, Iron Man does have his Overlord here, so he can move that in, sacrifice it later to check out some tech. Definitely a good move by him. And Minotaurus, rather supply block, because all his pylons were built at the front lines and then they all died. And you should probably look at throwing down a cannon there. There we go. That way Iron Man can't, just sit there and kill a gateway for free. And Iron Man taking his 3rd hatch. So the very typical 3 hatch before much of anything else sort of build that we see from a lot of players these days. And really, it's the best way to deal with the Forge Fast Expand at the moment. Because you need to stay up economically, you can't let yourself fall too far behind. So, yeah, pretty standard from both players so far, aside from the cannon rush shenanigans that didn't work out. Now Minotaurus is taking his second gas now, getting his cyber core down. All pretty typical stuff. So we'll have to see what each player chooses to move into. I would hazard a guess that Minotaurus is going to try to eventually get Colossi, because Colossi are very good against basically all Zerg ground units. Although that said, it's safe to say that Colossi are good against all ground units in general, not just Zerg units. Not sure why I said it that way. But in any case, Minotaurus does have this expansion up now, so he's going to start to saturate it, get probes out, get the economy going. Iron Man, on the other hand, has his third up, and the natural has been going for a while now. Does have two queens there. Could be he built one to Maynard it over to this base here, or just wants an additional one just to spread creep. Always a good idea, as creep spread is so very important. And Iron Man doing a nice job of spreading overlords out around the map just to keep an eye on things. Can keep an eye on for warp prisms coming through here, for example. And this overlord just cruising on in to take a look at things. Is eventually going to give his life for the swarm, but his sacrifice will not be in vain because he has scouted. And Iron Man just kind of sitting back, holding this tower, keeping an eye on things, macroing up nicely, throwing down 2 spine crawlers here just to stay safe, getting his Zergling speed, adding on 2 more extractors. So it looks like he does want to go for something tech-oriented, and yes, he is moving up to lair now. So we could see, okay, 2 Evo chambers. So that tells me roaches? Yep, there's the roach warren. So very standard by him. Could be he's going for that 13-minute 200 food roach push. Granted, those cannons did delay him a lot, so it might be a little bit later, but I'll have to see what happens. Getting pretty good saturation here. Definitely macroing pretty decently. Not so good saturation here. I should probably redirect some drones down there. Not the end of the world, though. And Minotaurus, similarly, getting good saturation there, and good saturation there as well. 4 probes in that geyser, 3 in that one. And Stargates. Oh, wow. Double Stargate. So, definitely relying a lot on airplay. And we'll have to see how Iron Man responds to this. And the thing about Phoenixes is they move very quickly. And they're great for just picking off all these outlying overlords, which can be such a pain, because then you have to rebuild them all. Costs money, slows down your ability to get the army you want. So, we'll see what happens with that. Iron Man also getting a Spire, so Roach Spire looks like. And yep, getting the 1-1 upgrades. Very intelligent, and the Infestation Pit. Looks like he wants to just go with a lot of different kinds of tech. But I love that he's getting upgrades. Upgrades are so important. They make your fighting force so much more effective. Always good to get them. We'll check. Nope, Minotaurus has not opted to get any upgrades yet. Most likely because he's going for the airplay. He does also have a robo bay, or robo facility. Robotics facility, yes. Going down. So, definitely not going 100% Stargate. And that's quite a few Phoenixes. He could do some really good damage if he can get in here, lift up stuff, kill stuff. Iron Man looks like he's suspecting Dark Templar, so he has a Overseer there, but that's not what's coming at all. This could be really bad for Iron Man. Queen's going to start chipping away. These Phoenixes getting in, dealing lots of damage. The Overseer going to pick it off eventually. Minotaur should probably pick up the Queen. There we go. Picks up the Queen. Going to take that out. And Iron Man responding well, immediately throwing down a Spore Crawler. Those do build pretty darn fast. And Minotaurus is going to have to get out of there, otherwise he's going to start losing Phoenixes. Does pick off a couple probes, drones, and loses a single Phoenix. But Iron Man looks like he wants to do a nice, strong counterattack here. And Minotaurus doesn't have a lot at the front. He has 2 cannons, one on the high ground, and a Voidway. And Zerglings and Roaches cannot shoot up, and Zerglings do not yet have my wishlist ability of Leap, where they jump onto an air unit and hack away at it until it dies. I would love to have that eventually. And Minotaurus could take some bad damage here, but he is throwing down some great force fields just to keep those Zerglings out. Nicely defended by him. And these Voidways are going to clean up all these Roaches, and Iron Man should definitely look at just pulling this entire army back, otherwise it's all going to die. And these Phoenixes still doing a lot of damage here. There is a Spore up though, so that's going to force those away. But Iron Man just continuing to lose Overlords. 4 kills, 1 kill, 3 kill, 3 kills. So these Phoenixes doing pretty good work. And also just being really annoying, forcing a lot of queens out of Iron Man. He does have mutas coming out now. Not the best decision ever by him to make those, but I guess he feels he still wants to go for that. So we'll see how it works out. These Phoenixes just hanging out here, taking out Overlords, taking some fire from the Queen. Yeah, those mutas dying so quickly. Man, Phoenixes absolutely murder mutas. Now, Minotaurus has cleaned up the front here. Like those lings and such did go down, and wow, Iron Man with some fantastic creeps, but lots of tumors. Lets him spread the creeps so much. And Iron Man's trying to get a ton of mutas. And that, you know, I mean, while Phoenixes are great against mutas, once there's that many mutas, it can get really challenging. And you need really good control to keep all the Phoenixes alive without, you know, while still killing mutas. So Minotaurus starting to get an immortal. So starting to fill out his ground army a little bit. Does still have 2 Void Rays to supplement this push here. And we'll see how Iron Man responds to that. Let's check the unit counts. Iron Man has 13 mutas, and that's it. That is his fighting force. But that said, Minotaurus did not have a lot of stuff that shoots up. He does have the Void Rays, but not that much. And mutas are pretty good against Void Rays, so definitely feel this is a bad move by Minotaurus. Iron Man cleaning up all this stuff. Is taking a bit of damage, but this hatchery should be fine. Gonna get a couple drones, but definitely a bad move by Minotaurus to attack up like that. But back at home, continuing to get Void Rays. Loves that Stargate tech. And Void Rays really are quite good. Getting more gateways. Looking to deplete that trust fund a little bit. So Iron Man throwing down 3 new Spine Claws just to help keep that safe. And moving up with the mutas, might look at pushing in here, poking here a little bit. There's a cannon to help propel them, but that's a lot of mutas. They could kill that cannon in a real hurry if they wanted to and deal a lot of economic damage. We'll see what happens. Minotaurus getting the shield upgrade. Interesting choice. And just continue to add on unit. Has a decent number of stalkers. But he does not have blink, so they will have a harder time dealing with these mutas. Iron Man pushing in, dealing damage, killing Phoenixes like it's no thing, but chooses to run away, doesn't want to engage into that many stalkers. Probably a good decision. But poking in still, might get this robo facility, that'd be quite nice for him. And yep, gets it, so nullifying a bit of Minotaurus' tech. And might get some Void Rays, nope, pulls back. So it looks like he wants to bounce around here a little bit, but he doesn't want to engage into that many stalkers. Gets the Void Ray and then runs away. And starting to flood roaches now. So these Evo Chambers were not for nothing. Definitely starting to build up the roach count. Where are the roaches anyways? Oh, they're building. He doesn't actually have any yet, I don't think. No. Okay. Continuing to spread the creep like a champion. Nicely done by him. And Minotaurus getting the Protoss air armor. So I guess the shields is just to make his air units more durable, and then the armors, well, again, to make them more durable. And that's not a bad decision. You definitely want your air units living a long time, and in general, I'm just happy when I see upgrades. I love upgrades. They are so good. Phoenix is pushing forward here. Muta is definitely going to need to fall back, or he's going to lose a lot. Falls back. He's got some roaches here with 1-1. But that said, that's quite a lot of stalkers. This will be really challenging for him. Both players are posturing back and forth. Can't seem to decide if they want to commit. And that's not a good spot for Iron Man to be in. He's very bottlenecked and he needs to fall back and really look at getting more units. Starting to flat out some Zerglings. Definitely a good decision. He'll want to try to catch this army in the open though. He does not want to engage into a tight choke like this. So we'll see how Engage is losing quite a lot of stuff up at the front. Pretty rough for him. He's got a decent number of roaches there. There is an immortal, but he's not focusing it down. He should definitely look at focusing that down, because that is shredding his roaches. He's starting to work on the forces, and I think he has just enough to push this back. He does have units that killed the Phoenixes, and they will now be able to help on the Stalkers. So well defended by him. And both players relatively even on the resources lost. So very, you know, just trading blows. Neither really coming out massively ahead. Iron Man looks like he wants to push forward. get this Voidway, and take out those Stalkers, and taking a sneaky expansion up there. So we will have to see if Minotaurus is able to scout that and take it out at some point. And getting a Twilight Council. So he has been favoring Stalkers, and he does know there are mutas on the map, so that could be for Blink. We'll have to see though. I mean, this is the player that opened with double Stargate Phoenix into lots of Voidways, so might be something a little bit more cheesy. We'll have to see what he does, and take another expansion. So very wise of him. Wants to try to stay up on that macro, and I really applaud these players' ability to, you know, deal with these intense battle situations and keep expanding. Personally, when I play, it's so rare that I get off 2 bases. I just have a really hard time remembering to actually expand. Iron Man cleaned that army up nicely. The Phoenixes, though, winning the air war. And so now he's got the air control for the time being. Iron Man, though, getting more mutas out. And we're seeing Charge and a Dark Shrine, so interesting choice by him. Should probably look at moving these probes to a mining base sometime soon. And Iron Man just hanging out there, securing this base, throwing down a whole bunch of spine crawlers just to help keep it safe, and continuing with the fantastic creep spread, almost all the way to his enemy's base now. Minotaurus is third here, nearly finished. And what else do we have? We got Flyer Attacks, rank 1, Zerg Ground Carapace 2, Creep Tumors, Spine Crawlers, lots of good stuff. So this is really the thing we need to watch for. We definitely want to see how much damage those Dark Templar will do. Iron Man, though, doing a nice push into here, but there's quite a few cannons. And he's going to have to fall back. That's a little bit too many defenses. Going to fall back for the time being, maybe pushing later. And he's getting quite a few mutas. He's building 13 now. And how many does he have on the field right now? Okay, only 3 right now, so I thought he'd already produced a whole bunch. These Phoenixes continue to pick off Overlords oh so annoyingly. This one has 10 kills. That's quite impressive. And he's got 111, so nicely upgraded Air Force from him. But he does seem to be moving out of it since he's going for those Dark Templar now. He has the third secured. This base nearly mined out. And Iron Man's starting to get mining going here. Has the gases, got those first. Want to be able to get those higher tech units as quickly as possible, and that's quite a few meters. He will have his 1 attack completed soon. But that said, he is down in upgrades to the Phoenixes. Okay, I did see some Dark Templar getting warped in. I wasn't sure where they were, so just here, potentially to defend against a Roach Push. And he did get an Archon. And Archons are kind of insanely good versus 100% of Zerg units, because they deal bonus damage to biological. And there are no mechanical Zerg units because they are evolved beings. 100% organic. Okay, Minotaurus seems to... Doesn't he know about this base? Okay, he scouted it. Maybe he got an observer there or something. But he knows that's there. He's pushing up. He wants to get it. Archon just scaring the mutas away because Archons are terrifying. And we'll have to see if Iron Man can defend this effectively. Getting another Archon. So 2 Archons. Clearly better than 1. But that's quite a lot of Zerglings. Minotaurus is going for it though. 1 Archon falls, second one about to die as well. Yeah, this is not working out for him in the slightest. Nicely defended by Iron Man. And we have a infestation pit on the way. Wait, is that his second infestation pit, or did his original infestation pit die? Oh, there's Dark Templar there. Oh, I missed that. Okay, the original infestation pit was here. It got killed. Iron Man running into here, killing a whole bunch of probes. That is devastating to Minotaurus, as that was the majority of his economy. And I think that's the death blow there. He has no economy now. He is behind in the bank, and Iron Man is up massively on supply. And so we will probably see the GG pretty soon. Minotaurus looks like he wants to try to do a last-ditch defense, but that's just way too much stuff. And even with the Dark Templar there getting free kills all day long, it can't kill quite fast enough to save this base. I really like this creep spread though. I'm just going to mention that as the game ends, because this is basically cleanup mode. 16 more mutas coming out. Iron Man definitely has this in the bag. So thanks to you, Iron Man, for sending in this replay. I did enjoy casting it. It is nice to see a wider variety of players, and there's the GG. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this community spotlight game. And while we all love watching the pros, it's fun occasionally to see some other lesser-known players from different leagues. And just kind of see how the metagame is progressing there as well, because, you know, these guys might eventually end up in Masters someday, so how the metagame progresses there does eventually have an impact, I think. But this is an astonishing number of creep tumors. Wow, I just kind of want to check around and see how many there are. I've got 2 tabs. Yeah, that is a staggering number of creep tumors. So yeah, thank you guys for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you later.